Yo, 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 what's up, family? Welcome to episode 52 of the MMAHOLIcs. Appreciate y'all for joining us as always, here to break down some Ultimate Fight Championships. It's been a little bit. The last episode we did cover the Ritter and Allen.
What's up?
Give me 1 second, kid. We have an echo. 1 second. 1 second. I'll leave and come back. 1 second, Kenny.
All right, guys. But yeah, we just broke down D. Ritter and Allen last week. We had that card on Saturday. It was an interesting main event, to say the least. We had D. Ritter throwing in the towel from his corner. Um, yeah, dude, I had D. Ritter winning that one for sure, so I was kind of thrown off by that. It was a good card. It was a good card. Could look at it real quick while we're waiting for Antoine. Look at some of the fights. Got some predictions right, got some wrong. Okay, UFC Fight Night. Boom, 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 boom. He'll be in here a second. Kevin Holland losing to Mike Malott. That was also another interesting fight, dude. That was a weird one, dude. I know he got kicked in the cup. My boy was telling me, he got kicked in the cup. You got to give him. It didn't look like he wanted to fight. He wasn't talking to the doctor when they was asking questions. Weird fight there. Got Antoine coming back right now. There's a Hobby Cheeto Vera fight. Saw some robbery talks on Twitter. Don't know about that one. Thought he didn't do enough.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
My bad. I don't know what the fuck that was. Yeah, man. Yo, I was listening to you about the Ritter and Allen. Yeah, you can continue. That Cheeto Vera shit was crazy. I thought some people just really probably lost money more than likely. And yeah, I mean, I was walking out of that feeling like, damn, man, Aben's a hobby's like really in his prime right now, like at 37 years old. Because people are always shitting on older fighters and shit like that. And like the people that know, the comment sections I've been in, and the people who know who I'm talking about, the streams I watch and stuff like that. I'm always like, it's not like I'd be going against the grain or nothing like that. I just think that professional athletes are different. Like it doesn't really apply to like regular humans. These dudes keep themselves in the best shape possible. And especially it's different when you're literally paid to keep yourself in shape for your sport, and you have to maintain that athleticism to continue to stay competitive on the world stage like that. So, yeah, I mean, I thought Ayman Zahabi looked fucking great. I thought, it was a good fight. He did pick him to win that fight. And man, like, I guess really just talking about some of those notable results coming out of that last card. How did you feel about Cheeto's loss coming out of that? Like, he might be out of the upper echelon of bantamweight now.
Yeah, bro. Like I saw people talking about robbery again. It's just like he just doesn't do enough, and it always happens. And he's just waiting for that moment that he doesn't get. And Zahabi's the truth, dude. I think he's high level. I think he's gonna rise up to his division. He'll definitely. I mean, he's older now, but at his pace he is, I think he'll be able to get a title shot. I think the Figgy fight would make sense to be next if they jump him higher. They jump him higher, give him Sean O'Malley or something like that. But I think he could get that title shot before he retires. Um, I think he's good, dude. I think he's good, and I don't think Cheeto Vera is improving. I think he's really good, and he's just been staying at the level he's at.
You feel like he might have been overrated this entire time, or do you
No,
think
I
he
think
was
he just
really?
plateaued a while back, is all, which is fine. He got to a very high level. He even got a title shot, so can't knock
Mhm.
that.
Nah, you're right. I mean, fuck it. If that's the case, we'll see what happens in the next fight. They're probably gonna feed him to up and comers more than likely. I can see him getting like the loser of that Mario Bautista and Umar Nurmagomedov fight. Especially if it's like Mario Bautista, I think they would match them up. That'd be a good fight. Like, why not? The Ritter and Allen, gotta talk about that. I'm never one to shit on professional athletes or nothing like that, but a lot of people left out of that fight thinking that Reiner was a quitter. Now, of course, so many people have never swam in waters that deep before, especially in a fight. But we all know that Dana White hates that shit when a fighter can't get off the stool in a fight. He'd rather you go out and get finished in a war then basically say no moss on the stool and let your corner throw in the towel. We saw what happened with Max Rochkoff. I think that was like 5 years ago. Dana was acting all like, no, it's fine. Like, if you can't continue, I always want you to stop. But then, about a week later, Max was cut from the roster after his first fight in the UFC. He was like 5-0, undefeated prospect when he signed and everything. So, I think for Reiner, it was a humbling loss, most definitely. He came in really hot this year. This was his 5th fight in 2025. So he looked good, man. I mean, at least in the first round. And then he just gassed out, came round 2 and 3 because it did end in 4. So like all credit to Brendan Allen. A lot of people were picking against him going into that main event, and he definitely shut a lot of people up. One of the best performances of his career, outside of the first round, he did get controlled pretty heavily. And if that was Hamzat Chimaev, he might have even gotten submitted in the first. But it was good. It was a good performance for Brendan Allen. Got him in the upper echelon of middleweight. He's younger than Reiner de Ritter, so that does work out for the UFC's sake. Put him in some good fights. I do think he will probably get like the Sean Strickland rematch. I think it makes sense for both of them. It was a while ago. Their first fight was a very, very, very long time ago in the Apex. That was like 2020, 2021. So I think they should definitely go at it. It'd be a good fight. You have it like, being like a pay-per-view opener or something like that. Not a feature bout or not like that. Well, it could be. Sean's a former champion, but either way, yeah. I mean, I thought Reiner can definitely improve going out of this. If I had to give him like a matchup, maybe like Paulo Costa or something like that. I think it's gonna be another fun fighter. The last thing I will say, and I just kept saying this over and over and over while I was watching this fight. Anthony Hernandez would have destroyed Reiner de Ritter. He would have destroyed that dude. He would have gassed him out. And not just like by round 2, he would have been attacking the submission the entire time. That's while he would have been folding, only would have been while Reiner would have been folding, Fluffy would have only been getting better. So I think he dodged a bullet in terms of like a loss, in terms of a finish. But obviously he still lost, his first main event and the second main event in the UFC. And we'll see where Reiner goes for this, but I think it's all about Allen moving forward. And he looked good, man. But we'll see what they decide to do with him, because he does have some losses to some guys at the top. He called out Rodriguez. We'll see if he gets it. But yeah, how'd you feel about that main event?
I spoke about it briefly, but people say, live to fight another day until someone actually does it, and now they're the bad guy for doing it. Like, dude, he threw in the towel, bro. He could have got seriously hurt if he went into a round not wanting to fight. Like, people don't understand the implications. Like, this fight shit's not just like, oh, you go into the rounds, 5 minutes, you're out. Like, these dudes could leave the cage without something they went into it. Like, we'll talk about Bisping. He went into that cage with a 9, he left without one. There's so many things. They could go into the cage with a healed arm and leave with a broken one. I mean, like, dude, he left and he could fight this year if he wanted to again. He could fight next year. Or he could have broke and he could not fight for another 2 years, like I hate how people jump on this hate train for him throwing in the towel. Like, it's a legitimate thing, dude, and I get it. Like, if it was a title fight and he did that shit, oh my god, you're all the way at the top. Dude, he won 4 fights this year. 4 fights, 5 weight cuts in 1 year, and people are shitting on him. I don't respect any of that hate. You got to respect what these people do. So that's my opinion. I thought he was doing great in the fight until he wasn't. That first round was really good, and then he got sunk. That's what happens. It's a game. I think styles make fights. So that Hernandez, like, maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. Styles make fights. Different game plan for a different fighter. But yeah, that was last week. This week we got 321. We're on a pay-per-view now. Got some good fights tonight or tomorrow. So
yeah, man, and like the thing too, it's an Abu Dhabi pay-per-view. We know how much the Middle East floods the UFC with that oil money. and I think they delivered once again. This is a good, really, 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 really good card. Great pay-per-view. I love it when we can wake up early. I can roll out of bed, or I guess leave the gym, really, and get straight to just watching these fights. You feel me? It's a good card too. Like I said, 13 fights. Got a full plate for this one, not 15, of course, like how we usually like for pay-per-views. But we did just get a 15 fight card with the Perth card. So, but at least this one's the quality over the quantity. I think all these fights are going to deliver, the women and men fights. And I like both these title fights. Both are gonna really cause a paradigm shift in both divisions. In my opinion, depending on a certain result, I do think that Mackenzie Dern, if she does win this belt, it's gonna be really, really big for the UFC going into 2026 on that Paramount deal. They're gonna push her really, really hard. She's very attractive, obviously, extremely marketable. She's a single mother, so I think they could build her storyline as well. And yeah, man, they've liked her for a very, very, very long time. She's fighting a girl who she's beaten already. And I was mainly standing back in 2020. I think that was on that UFC 252 card. Excuse me, 252 card. The Stipe in DC. And yeah, man, we finally got Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. Everyone's been waiting for this main event for a very long time. They literally signed to the UFC, I think maybe like a couple months apart, like 2 months apart when they made their debuts. So it's gonna be really exciting to see who's gonna come through in this one. I think people are sleeping on Cyril Gane, obviously. Most definitely, if y'all been seeing me on social media and stuff like that. But how do you feel about the 321st Ultimate Fighting Championship?
I like it. It's good, some good fights. You know, we've been waiting a while for this Gane versus Aspinall fight. I didn't like how slow the heavyweight division was moving over John Jones. You knew that the outcome was going to be, and people were denying fights. Tom's been out for 2 years now, so I didn't really like. Or no, he hasn't been out for 2 years. He's been out for
Since like 304, that London card.
since July of 2024. So it's been a year and a few months. But even so, he's been very inactive for someone who I felt could have been very active over the time period. It was just annoying. I think this fight should have been booked. I just felt like the heavyweight division was moving so slow, and that was my biggest worry. If there was no John Jones in the picture, the division would still move slow because of the lack of talent at the top of the division. But now they're finally picking it up. They got 4 heavyweights on this card, 4 of the top guys. So they're really trying to, get the ball rolling in the division. They even got some more heavyweights, but they're not title contenders even close to it. But yeah, it's a good card. I got some picks for you, bro. I got some different picks for you for sure, though. I know that. I know we're gonna be
Nah,
on the other
hey.
side of a few picks tonight.
No, hey man, it's always better that way when it's a little spicy. You feel me? But I add also, I really love this poster. I think it really encaptures the landscape of Abu Dhabi, the opulence of the country. If I might add, I've never been to the Middle East. Unfortunately, I do plan on going at one point in my life. But yeah, I mean, I really fuck with this poster. I would most definitely put it on my wall for sure. The purple and stuff like that. I think it's really good. Most definitely in that 322 poster as well. I think that one really captures how legendary of a card that might be, or how legendary of a card that is on paper, at least. But yeah, moving on to this pay-per-view. I want to thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all so much. Most definitely, as always. And going into the first fight of the night. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can keep this one kind of short. I was gonna go with Jacqueline Amorim. I think she's the better grappler in this fight. I just like what I've seen more from her. I think she's faced the better competition, and I think during her time in the UFC, she's looked better. And I think recently she also got married, so she also has that going for her. But like I said, she has a really polished ground game. Really like from seeing her since the moment she did come in. She was undefeated when she did touch down, but she went through a little bit of adversity. But we always like that from a fighter, one who doesn't really let him control him that much. And just really just keep moving on after a loss like that. When she lost to Sam Hughes, and it doesn't even look that bad anymore, to be honest. She went on a 4-fight win streak after that. Say what you want about the competition, but she at least did what she was supposed to, and she finished all 4 girls. And yeah, I mean, I think she's just a better fighter this time around. With Mizuki Inoue fighting out of New York City. Just not the most active fighter. Her last win's over Hannah Goldie, which is not the best win. She lost to Amanda Lemos by unanimous decision 3 years before that fight. So it really just isn't the most active fighter. It's gonna be her fourth fight inside the UFC. So we'll see how it goes for her. She's still, fairly young at 31. I think she's trying to improve during these long gaps, but she also, like nothing, like no better teacher than experience, and like there's no feet, no speed, like fight speed. So I got Amorim to win this fight via first round submission.
I like it. I'm with you on that one for sure. I got him warm to win this one by first round submission. Dude, she has an impressive last two wins. Four last wins are all by finish. Not something you see too often in WMMA. Um, you said it perfectly. She's just not active, dude. First, what is it? First fight, in however long. I don't know. She's not taking many fights in the UFC. She's not active. There's not much to read off of it because a fighter 2 years ago is way different than a fighter today. Um, yeah, I expect this one to go the same. I'm just gonna get another finish. She's been doing it most of the competition. I expect her to do it against a girl who hasn't been getting a lot of cage time recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a decent fight though for however long it lasts. This one's definitely gonna be pretty exciting too. It's gonna be a lot of wrestling though, but you can go ahead and give the first pick in this one.
I got Mac. Is it Maxim? Maxim?
Azat Maxim. Mm-hmm.
Maxim. I got him winning this one by decision. Both these guys are on a two-fight losing streak, so someone's gonna need to get back in that win column. Um, Maxim, on the one hand, does have a little bit better competition for his last two losses. It was Charles Johnson and Tiger Ulanbekov. It's much better competition than who Raposo's lost to in his last two. He's also coming to this one with a 6-inch reach advantage, and yeah, like you said, he's got that wrestling skill. So I think with the advantages there, the better competition he's faced, skill that he's going to bring into this one. I like him a little bit better in this one. I think it'll be a very competitive fight, but it's going to go down to the scorecards, and I got Maxim winning this one by decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna agree for the second time of the night. I was also gonna go with the Zot, thinks he's the better fighter. I didn't really like Mitch Raposo on the Ultimate Fighter. Haven't been too much impressed with him post tough. Touching down in the UFC. It was cool to see him get a contract. It was cool to see him, make his dreams come true. But I just don't know if he might be UFC caliber. So I was gonna go with Azat Maxim, who definitely looked better than Mitch Raposo. And going into this next one, Chris Barnett versus Hamdi Abdulwahab. Just want to say this. This guy's a really nice fucking Rolls Royce. I was watching it on the embedded. I think it was a Rolls Royce truck. That shit was nice. That interior with that brown and orange like that. That was really, 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 really nice. I'm not gonna lie. And going into this one, it's a pretty entertaining fight. Got Chris Barnett. Always fun to watch in the Taekwondo black belt. His family owns a gym, so he's been doing martial arts his whole life. Fairly athletic for a guy his size. He's 5'9" and 265 pounds. So, just having that body composition is kind of not a good sign. But he moves pretty good again for a guy his size. Not that good at hands. Really, relies on his legs and his kicks to do most of the damage. Does have highlight reel KOs. He's 39 years old, but doesn't really matter because it's the heavyweight division. So biggest thing going against him is that he hasn't fought in a pretty long time, at least for Chris Barnett. And he had a lot of canceled fights in between his last two fights. Kennedy and Njoku finished him in the first round. And that was back on October 26, 2024. So literally almost a year to the day where this fight is happening. He's been off for a pretty long time. And going for Hamdi, this guy did pop for PEDs at one point. Forgot when it was, but I know for a fact he did. Yeah, it was when he beat Dontel Mays because it was overturned. Yeah, back in 2022. And he was off for like 2 years. Yeah, he didn't fight for 3 years after that. So I'll be quite honest. I thought he lost to Jamal Pokes. I thought Jamal Pokes won that fight. The fact that was a split decision in Abu Dhabi, because I'm pretty sure that fight was in Abu Dhabi, lets you know that. I thought he clearly won that fight. I just thought it was the bias of that Middle Eastern crowd that got Hamdi that win. He lost to Mohammed Usman. I picked Usman to win that fight. I just thought Usman more athletic in a collision of in a collision that two guys aren't really that good at striking. They're mainly gonna wrestle. I'm gonna go with the more athletic dude. So I picked Usman to win that. And going into this one, I'm hoping that Hamdi has improved. I was gonna go with Hamdi to win this fight. I think he's gonna hold Chris against the fence. Just a bad matchup for Chris Barnett. If he's finding a guy who's more athletic than him, bigger, more has more strength, really can implement his game plan more on him. Really just take him to the ground, take his back, and really try to hold him to the ground. Really get that control time. And I think that's really what Hamdi's gonna do. I think he's just going to really just control him the entire time and win a decision. I don't think he's going to ground and pound Chris Barnett or anything like that. I think, I don't know. I think Chris is going to scramble or something, but I don't think Hamdi has that much danger factor. I just think he's really going to try to win this fight coming off that loss. And that's it, really. So I just got Hamdi winning by decision. Also got to give a shout out to my boy Vulcan, who just popped into the chat. Thank you so much for joining us, brother. Always love talking to you in the chat. Good evening, and thank you again for joining us. But yeah, who you got, Nikki? Go ahead.
I got Hamdi in this one, but I think this fight stinks and is like an absolute skip for like if you were to be betting on this card. This fight's like just get out of the way on this one. It's a train wreck. Like Chris Barnett, he's cool. His fights are like I would watch this, of course. He's cool to watch. He's flashy, has great kicks. He has he has knockout power with those kicks. That's his one thing, but that's his only thing. He has no cardio, no wrestling, and this is in Taekwondo. It's mixed martial arts. And if I had to pick the better mixed martial artist in this, it's definitely a Hamdi. The only problem with this is like an IQ thing with him. Like he can wrestle and win this fight easily, take Chris to the ground and submit him within 2 minutes. But it's likely not to happen. It's likely they're gonna stay on the feet and try to bang with each other. If banging is what you call it, Chris Barnett even does. Like it's really interesting watching his fights. Yeah, but like I said, Hamdi should absolutely win this fight. If he takes to the ground, he doesn't do anything dumb. Just takes it down, finishes it. Yeah, decision. If Hamdi could sub him, I don't know. He should be able to. I mean, Chris Barnett doesn't have jiu-jitsu defense. He doesn't have anything there. He doesn't have takedown defense, but he's gonna be able to get up. Is my thing. Like I know he will. I think Hamdi should win this one. Yeah, we'll go by. I didn't put a method. I just put Hamdi, so I'm gonna put him by decision. I like that.
Okay, word. Great pick from both of you boys, Vulcan. Hey, we're all three in agreement. So I think it'll just be a clean decision for Hamdi. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing special. It's a clean decision, really. And moving on, this is where the card really, really, really kicks up in the morning. By this time, it's gonna be like 11:30 in the morning, something like that. So it'll still be the morning time. You boys still be waking up, most definitely. Some people won't wake up until this fight because they might want to skip the first three. So going into this one, this is fucking crazy, man. Jose Delgado versus Nathaniel Wood. Both these guys are really good strikers. Nathaniel Wood's better with the boxing, while Jose's better with the kicks. I think Nathaniel's the better grappler here. I do think he won't be able to get Jose into the ground, but Jose is also a pretty decent grappler himself. He's not a fish out of water or anything like that. He's fairly well-rounded, to be quite honest. So he's younger, taller, faster. I mean, man, like it's pretty. Because I just don't like what's the fucking game plan for like the Nathaniel Wood's career? Like I don't know what his agents are doing. Like because he to me he should be getting ranked opponents, but he's fighting dudes who are like 27 years old, unranked, with this little downside. I mean, don't get me wrong, like this is a big name to get on his resume, but you would have thought like after being in the UFC for so long, he'd try to get like a fight up the rankings. I think Jose is the one fighting up the rankings here, and I think, man, Because I can't say it's going to be a hard fight for Nathaniel Wood. I think he'll be prepared anywhere the fight goes. He's really good with the hands. He has great leg kicks to even nullify Jose, like his distance management. Um, but I think Jose, like his speed is going to be an issue. Like that reach at 4 inches is going to be an issue. Um, man, like it's a close fight. I was gonna go with Jose Delgado to win this one. It's gonna be a close one. I think it's gonna be a war. I think both fighters get rocked at one point. It's really, really hard to put Nathaniel Wood out. I think John Dotson knocked him out, but that was a long time ago. And I think it's absolutely gotten better since then. So I was with Jose Delgado though, man. I think it's a close fight. It's a really, really fun fight. This could be like the main card of like an Apex fight night or something like that. So, yeah, man, I got Jose Delgado though. Who you picking?
I also got Jose Delgado on this one. I didn't think you were gonna take him. Thought I was gonna be alone, but he's been finishing his fights quickly, dude. So like it's a blessing and a curse because you don't have much to read off like how he looks in the later rounds, but you got to admit like he's finishing his fights quick. This is his best comp yet. Nathaniel Wood is the best mixed martial artist he's fought yet. And I'd expect it to be very competitive fight if it lasts, but I think Delgado's going to catch him pretty early on in the fight. His flurries are really good. It's hard to avoid. He just walks through and he's just striking right down the middle. And he's been catching everyone. Wood, I'm not going to say he's like, oh, you touch him, he's glass. But I mean, he definitely takes a lot of damage. And Delgado's big. He's a big featherweight, really
Mhm.
strong. He's built. So this one, I definitely, yeah, I think Delgado's gonna knock him out within the first two, dude. I think so. You said decision or what?
I don't think I gave him method. I think knock him out. But I said it might be hard to knock him out because he has a good chin.
So you think it
I
goes
think I
to a
said this.
decision?
I think it might just be a fun fight and he might win by
I
decision.
think
Yeah, man.
Delgado's gonna knock him out, dude. I just think his output's so high, dude. And I think Wood's a good fighter. Like that's not a knock to him by saying this. I think he's a very high level mixed martial artist. He's very well rounded. I just think the flurries from Delgado and it's just the output's gonna be so much higher. He's gonna bring the fight. And that's the thing. So yeah, my
Mhm.
pick is Delgado to win this one by knockout than the first two.
Okay. All right, bet. Moving to the ESPN prelims. Won't be saying that too much longer. First ESPN prelim of the night, we got Walter Walker versus Louis Sutherland. I'm happy for Louis Sutherland, and he got that fiery bug. I don't know if y'all saw that video he put out about the Toph situation. He was really, really, really gutted about not being able to fight on that card. I feel him, man. When you train, you put so much money into a training camp, and like so all of a sudden, you're just not getting fucking paid. He didn't even get way in to get the show money. He could have gotten compensated, but I know that for sure. But for Louis Sutherland, I kind of want to start with the Vanilla Gorilla, um, the newcomer, the LFL heavyweight champion. So he was fighting in the Netherlands before he came over to the UFC. Um, not, I mean, he's a decent competition. Beat a 4-1 guy to win the belt. Beat a 3-2 guy before that, and then beat a 5-7 guy, but beat a 9-5 guy prior to that. So say what you want. He's looking good. He's winning by decision while also finishing as a heavyweight. So he has a good gas tank and he has power. So we know he can go 3 rounds hard. He's trained for 5 rounds and he's finished guys in the first. So we know he has power. He's pretty good anywhere the fight goes. He has no submissions, but I don't think I haven't been able to see him on the ground too much, but so I can't really speak on his ground game right now. I'll be quite honest. Um, but I know he's a good striker. Like I said, good gas tank, good chin. Um, he's mainly only lost by decision in his career. He's never been KO'd or submitted, so definitely a very durable fighter. Absolutely. And yeah, I mean he's fighting Walter Walker, so that's pretty fucking hard to avoid that. Walter Walker, this guy's made a pretty big impression ever since touching down. He is the brother of Johnny Walker, the half brother. Um, He's 27 years old, 6'6", with a 78-inch reach. So obviously, he got the same genes as his brother. Most definitely, both these guys are specimens, absolutely massive. He's fighting out of Moscow, Russia, and he's looking pretty good, man. Last 3 wins, all by way of heel hook in the first round, literally all in the first round, in the same method. The fact he's able to impose his will like that really shows you. Very well-rounded fighter. Has won by unanimous decision a bunch of times. So we know he does have a good gas tank, and he does have finishing instinct as well with his with his jujitsu. So I like Walter in this one. I think he's going to come out here and submit him. I think the only reason he lost to Lucas Brzeski is because of his UFC jitters. I think he was nervous in that fight. He was still he's still only 27. I think he was 26 in that fight. Yeah, he turned 26. So like he was, he's still young and he's still developing. So I think that loss just did so much for him. And I think we're gonna see him get the sub in this fight. And I think he might do it again, man. I think it's gonna be a first round heel hook, Walter Walker, to make it 4 in a row, and he's just gonna become like a meme kind of in the MMA community. But I got Walter Walker by a first round submission, with a heel hook, most definitely.
Yeah, this one screams first round submission, dude. First round finish, I'll put. I have Walter to win it by sub, but I think first round finish. I think the fight's gonna start, gonna get in there, throw a jab or two, and Walter's gonna get into a clinch, get him down. I don't know if he gets the heel hook. That would be awesome to see 4 heel hooks. I love leg locks, dude. It'd be amazing. It's actually crazy that a heavyweight could get heel hooks at such a high percentage. Meanwhile, anyone get heel hooks at such a high percentage in mixed martial arts. But I'm gonna take Walter to win this one by first round sub. I'm not even gonna break it down. There's no point. I'm very confident. I think he is a really good fighter too, Walter Walker, and it's nice to see someone with such a submission threat in the heavyweight division. So I think he'll get this to the ground quickly and end it in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to the next one. All these fights are bangers. To be honest, like all these prelims are pretty fucking good. All the fights from here on out, like, are just pretty crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Ludovic Klein versus Mateusz Rebecki. You can give your pick first in this one. Go ahead.
This one I didn't end up getting a outcome, but I did break it down. Like Rombeski, I think they pronounce it. He's good on the feet. He's always moving. He has really good wrestling. We know that about him. The only thing is he does get hit a lot. He takes a lot of damage. Ludovic Klein, he's quick, he's clean, and he has really good striking. That was my breakdown for him. I think this fight, it's 2 really good fighters. So my thought process was it's just going to be a battle of whoever breaks first. It's going to be a cardio battle. I think Rombeski is going to be just bringing the fight at him the whole time, trying to get him down, wrestle. And I think Klein's going to be able to get up from him a few times. They're going to be striking, hit each other back and forth. It's going to be very competitive. This one screams fight of the night all over it. My thing is, I just don't know what's going to happen because Rombeski's definitely going to try and just drain out all of Ludovic Klein's cardio, and it's going to get to a battle of like, oh, then I can finish it or just win the decision like that. Will Ludovic Klein's cardio tank run out? That's my question. I couldn't come to terms with that before I ended up picking, so I didn't pick. But I do like Rombeski in this one. I think I'm going to take him to win this one by a decision, and I think he's just going to have a great third round and just drain out Klein and just take it from there on the ground, just ground and pounding, controlling, and win that third round. That's how I predict this fight. It could go any way because it's just such a competitive fight. These dudes are really good, and dude, Ludovic Klein is active, bro. I feel like I see his name like every few cards, dude. Like he's just sneaking onto these cards. I see him a lot. I don't know how many times he's fought in this year, but I just always see his name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nah, man, it's the fun fight, most definitely. Shit, man. And you didn't. Oh, I mean, shit. I won't ask your pick. I'll give mine first, and I can go back and ask yours after. Um,
You said I gave my pick.
no, yeah. I
Uh,
just forgot right quick.
uh,
My bad. Uh, I do like your breakdown though. It is a really, really close fight. I think it's pretty even in terms of the grappling and the striking. I think Ludovic's an underrated grappler. We all know he's good at the striking, the spinning back kicks. Pretty good hands as well. Shredded in that 5'7" frame in that lightweight division. The same can literally be said for Mateusz Rebecki, who's also 5'7". So it's a pretty even fight, like how you said. Just man, for me, like yo, Rombeski's taken a lot of fucking damage. Um, in this last two fights, this fighting, that fight with Miktipek Orobai in Abu Dhabi, that shit was insane. He won that fight, but it was an absolute war. And then when he fought Chris Duncan, that was another fucking war. And that was fucking insane. So this guy, like this shit has it's crazy the fights they keep giving him, and he's taking them with no hesitation whatsoever. Um Man, like I just don't know. I mean, I think and he did ground and pounded by Carlos Diego Ferreira. So he at one point he did get finished. We have his weaknesses in the cage. Um, and then like for me, like I was gonna go with Ludovic Klein to win this one. I think he might be a little bit of the better technical striker. If it gets in deep waters, I like him a little bit more, but it is a really close fight. And yeah, I mean it's a close one, but I was gonna go with Klein to win this via decision. A crazy decision. I'm not trying to have a bunch of decisions. I just don't know if he'll finish Rombesky. I think Rombesky got finished by CDI because he got tired in that one. But I do think Klein can outpoint him and pick him apart just a tad bit in a close fight. So we'll see what's gonna happen. But I got a little bit Klein by decision. And going into this next one, the Iron Turtle versus Ikram Alaskarov. I really fuck with the Iron Turtle, bro. Jung Young Park. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's really underrated. People don't really give him the respect he deserves, in my opinion. He came in at like 3-2 in the UFC. Then went on like a really good win streak. Really just changed everything. He really turned a corner in terms of his UFC career at one point. And I just think he doesn't get the respect he deserves in this middleweight division. He's 19-6. He's getting up there a little bit. He's 34 years old. He's coming off a win over Ismail Nariev in the win over Brad Tavares. He did lose by split to Andre Muniz, but like that was 2 years ago, and I think that could have gone the other way. So he could be on a pretty big win streak right now if he would have won that one. He'd be 10-2 inside the UFC. That first loss was to Anthony Hernandez, and that second one was to Gregory Rodriguez in a fight of the night war, which I think if he fought that differently, he could have beaten him. So I do think this dude is super underrated, Jung Young Park. And going into Ikram Alaskarov, obviously this guy's a great fighter. Coming out of Dagestan, Russia. I mean Makhachkala, where Islam Makhachev is from. And this guy's really good, He knocked out Andre Muniz. If you look at some MMA math there, got finished by Robert Whitaker in the first round. And before that, he knocked out Warley Alves, knocked out Phil Hawes. Neither of those wins look good, in my opinion. Especially the Phil Hawes win, like I just think Megatron has taken a lot of damage himself, and we've all seen that. But he has some decent wins, being Mario Sosa on Contender Series. And outside of that, beat Joey Birkenbach, who was 3-0 at the time that he beat him. But I think people really know Ikram for his wrestling and his loss to Hamzat Chimaev. He's a pretty good striker himself, does have decent body kicks, decent leg kicks. But I do think that Jung Young Park, in my opinion, I do like him more in this fight. I was going to go with Jung Young Park to win this one. I think he can grapple with this guy. I think he can box with this guy. I know Park's sitting a little older and stuff like that, but I think Jung Young Park can get this victory, and I think he's super underrated, like I said. And yeah, he's a really good fucking grappler himself. So I got Jung Young Park to win this fight via decision.
I thought we were going to have more disagreements than we were, but I guess we're on the same page about this one, because I'm definitely with Jung Young Park on this one too, dude. I like Ikram. I think he is good, and I think he will be good, but the amount of the people he fought isn't impressive to me, and the way he fights isn't impressive, because if you take his last fights and you put like a way better fighter in there with him, it's just it doesn't work the same, dude. He has the most sloppy striking I have seen for someone who's getting these knockouts. He swings so wide and he chases. He like chases with his chin. I don't like it one bit. And we've seen it. This is why Hamzat was able to finish him so quickly. Um, Dude, Park is known for how durable he is, and he's consistent. He does have good striking. You said he has good grappling. He could sit behind a jab and just move, just stick and move all fight. And when the clinch comes, he's going to be good. And when a big bomb lands from Ikram, if it doesn't put him out, I think that's what's going to lose Ikram this fight. Like, Ikram's going to land maybe 2 big strikes. He'll set them up. He's not garbage. He's good. He's going to land a few strikes. But if it doesn't put out Park, I don't think Ikram is technical enough where he's impressive and he's sweeping on scorecards. And we are in the Middle East, so people might think, oh, maybe the scorecards will go to him, and maybe they will. I think if it was anywhere else, I think Jean Young Park is going to win this decision. I said Park, my bad. That's crazy. I'm sorry. I think he's more technical here, and like I said, if Ikram isn't going to win by a knockout, I don't see him winning this fight by a decision at all. I think his best way to win fights is knockouts, and he has to tone down his striking, how wide he throws. It's not going to work, and this fight's going to get exposed. I do think so.
I agree, most definitely. Going to the feature bout, the feature prelim. Yeah, man, Nasrat Haqparast versus Keelan Salkild. You can go first in this one. Go ahead.
I got my boy Killian War. I like him a lot. I don't think a lot of people are too confident in him. I think there's a fine group of people that are confident in him and a group of people who think that this is another level. And I think Nasrat is another level, but that's just how much confidence I have in Killian. Dude, I've watched him, and when I watched him last time, I remember how excited I was to watch him fight. He has this swagger to the way he fights. It's very fun to watch people like him. I can't really explain what it is. We'll give Nasrat his props though, because I do think he's really good. He's super quick on the feet. He's good. He could get in and out. I think he's really good. He's very good at stuffing takedowns. The thing with Sal, how do you pronounce his last name? Salkild?
Salkild. Yeah,
Salkild.
Keelan Salkild. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that well. I feel like we're saying it wrong. But we haven't seen much from him. That's my worry, and this is a very big jump in competition. But I'm rocking with him here. Like you have a fighter, you like them, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're ready for this step up. It's a big step up though. He's just very good. He fights very well at distance. He has those good teeps. He's good with his legs, his kicks. And he's diverse. He throws all around. He throws to the body well. He throws to the head well. Throws to the legs well. I think he's good. I think this one goes to a decision for sure. And I think Killian's gonna get the edge in this one.
Okay. Now it's a close one, man. I think this is one of the closest fights on the card, in my opinion. I'm gonna go with my original feeling. Because man, I get it. Like, this is a close fight on paper as well. It's like, man, as I look at Haqparast, I think about like who he's lost to and who he's faced and the experience he has and like the things he's learned from. Like he Dan Hooker. Like I think he learned from that one most definitely. It's like that on short notice too. I believe that's most definitely on short notice. He's 18-5. He's 30 years old in the prime of his career on a 4-fight win streak with that win over Esteban Ribovics. That was a great win, in my opinion. The fact he even beat him really showed the corner he was turning. With this, even the win over Landon Quinones, was really impressed. And I think 2 years ago, he was showed back then he was turning a corner. And I think all that UFC experience has finally started to pay off at 30 years old, man. And like the win over Vix, I get it was close, but it was, still a win nonetheless. And it showed his durability and his ability to box in the pocket. I was gonna go with Nasrat Haqparast to win this one. I think he'll win it. I'm not trying to make it a boring card, but I just think how Keelan is durable. And, Nasrat's going to really prioritize the technical boxing over trying to really put himself in danger and only go for the kill. I think we'll have a few decisions, but a few fun decisions. I was going to go with Nasrat Haqparast win via decision.
Go pick.
I just think it's going to be a close fight. It's gonna be close for sure. I definitely think so, most definitely, but we'll see how it goes though. And going to the first pay-per-view fight of the afternoon, it's gonna be 2 p.m. Eastern when we kick this motherfucker off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Thank y'all again for joining us. As always, really appreciate you. And yeah, man, you can give your first pick in this one. I think it's super interesting. So I'm actually interested to hear what you got to say about this one.
So I definitely flip flopped on this one. I changed my pick from what I originally had. Dude, well, Rakic hasn't been able to get a win in his last two. If you look at the competition, it's literally the top of the division. It was Ankalaev and Yuri in his last two. And while he didn't win either of those, I think he did have moments in both of them, especially in the Yuri fight in round one. I completely thought he was going to win that fight after round one. He was in complete control until he wasn't. I don't know what switched in that fight. I guess it's just the Yuri effect, but that fight completely turned after round one. I think Rakic is good. I mean, he has a big size advantage in this one. 6'4" versus 5'10", 78 reach versus 71 and a half. And he's the younger fighter in this one. But Mirzakanov's good. For his size,
One
he's really
second,
good,
guys.
and he's a good light
I'm
heavyweight,
talking.
dude. You're good. I'm gonna keep going. He closes distance well for his size, and he has very quick hands. Um, I think this one could go either way. If you think Rakic is going to win off of just using his range, his size, striking and moving, I think that's fair. Azamat, he's good. He could close the distance to get his like arms around you, get to a body lock, and start working his game in. I think he's really good. At first, I was definitely leaning towards Rakic to win this one. Um, but I think I switched. It is near even odds. To pick him for this one, which is very insane. Makes sense though. I'm gonna go with Mirzakhanov to win this one by a decision.
Mm-hmm. Word. Okay. Nah, man, this is gonna be a fun one too. Um, I was gonna go with Alexander Rakic to win this one. I just think the guys he's lost to are really, 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 really good. He looked good in that Yuri fight first round before Yuri just came out and took over in the second. The Jan Blachowicz fight, he looked good in the first round before like he caught an injury. In the shots he was taking to the chin from Jan Blachowicz 100% showed he has a chin of steel. He's still supremely athletic, a great striker, has body kicks that can cut you in half, especially when he's on. I don't think he'd be taking this fight if he still wasn't motivated to be champion. He's still young too. I think he's fought way better competition in his career. And I think, man, it's just been like a rough string of fights with the results that are on paper. But I thought he still looked good as a fighter in all those fights. So I was going to go with Alexander Rakic to win this one. And he has like a 7-inch reach advantage, and he knows how to use it. So I do got Rakic to win this fight via decision. I mean, I'm going to go with a second round KO, a second round knockout. I think it's gonna be an
Damn.
entertaining fight. I think this is like the best fighter that Osmat's ever faced in his entire career. And it's gonna be an entertaining way to kick off the pay-per-view. It's gonna be a fun result. Like you're like, oh shit, like an undefeated guy just got finished. Or like, oh shit, Azamat's finally in that upper echelon of light heavyweight. So I look forward to it, most definitely. But moving on to the second fight. Going to the heavyweight division, moving up to 265 for this one. This fight was booked for another card originally, but it was pushed back to this one. And we have Alexander Volkov versus Jelton Almeida. Got a striker versus a grappler. It's like it's UFC 1 all over again for real. It's like a dead ass matchup out of UFC 1. It's really interesting. I'll be quite honest. Volkov. This is a big fight for him. A lot of people thought he beat Cyril Gane in that previous fight. If you go on MMA decisions right now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people picked him to win retroactively. But you're just on paper testing his skill set. He's a phenomenal striker, one of the best in the heavyweight division. Great distance management, really athletic for his height. The way he'll get those kicks up there, 6'7". Good boxing too. The way the way I like his hooks. His hooks are really, really good in the pocket. The way he'll go across the guard, especially the way he beat Alistair Overeem with the hooks in the pocket like that. Has decent power as well, and a solid chin. Alexander Volkov. Just the losses he's had, they've been bad. When you've seen them happen, like getting taken down by Aspinall. He got blasted, and the KO by Derek Lewis at the end of the fight, and um, outside of that, the Curtis Blades loss, that was a hard fought fight, and he tried to win that. He landed some crazy kicks. He kicked him in the face like in the fourth round. I watched like that was one of the craziest fights in Apex history. Blades versus Volkov. That shit was crazy. And this for this matchup, I do think that obviously he is the better striker, but I think he's also fought the better competition. He has way more experience at 38 and 11. He used to fight in Bellator at one point. And yeah, man, I think he's the UFC staple. He's been inside the heavyweight division for a very, very, very long time. The fact I'm just now seeing the betting odds, the fact he's the underdog in this fight kind of blows my mind a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, man, assessing Jolton Almeida. Obviously, this guy came in, shot out of a cannon, great grappling style, very strong. He was at 12-5 originally, but it took a couple fights at heavyweight to have some fun, and he just didn't go back down. He's definitely big enough to be in the division. He's really, really strong. We saw he was able to lift up Curtis Blades and, I don't want to say ragdoll him, but definitely, toying with him a little bit the way he was throwing him side to side. And yeah, man, he lost that fight, but he did show his potential. He was able to control a Division 1 high level wrestler like that. And I think he really gave Curtis, like, he wasn't smart in round 2. That's all I'll say. And I think for this, it's kind of a hard fight for Almeida to try to impose his will if he can't get the fight hit the ground. He's going to be out in an ocean without a life jacket if he's out there standing at a distance with Volkov trying to have a pretty boxing fight. Of course, that's not his style. That's not what he's going to do. But I think it's going to be hard to try and get the fight to the ground as well. I don't think it'll be that easy as people think. It's a close one. I don't think he should be minus 200. I think this is a minus 110. It's a good pay-per-view. All these fights are really good, really close. And like Nikki did say to kick the card off. I think the winner of this fight does fight the winner of the main event, most definitely. And yeah, man, it's a close one. I was gonna go with Alexander Volkov to win this fight. I think he'll be able to keep the fight standing. If Almeida, the best he can do, really, in my opinion, is try to hold him against the fence. I think Volkov's really strong, really, really big guy. He will reverse, get out back at a distance, and continue to pick him apart. I think he knocks him out. I think he knocks out a tired Almeida in the third round after grappling and scrambling after those first 2 rounds. And I think that's what's going to happen, a third round KO for Alexander Volkov.
All right. I'm on the flip side here. I like Jalton Almeida to win this one by submission. I do think he's going to get it to the ground. Volkov's big. He's getting older now, and I don't think it's that necessarily a deterioration. I just do have to admit he is getting older. Saw that picture from Media Day. He was looking like Qui-Gon Jinn. For anyone who's a Star Wars fan, he had the man bun. He looked just like him. But I just think in this fight, Almeida does have like this. I get there's a size advantage, but the arms are like the same length, dude. It's not like Volkov is going to be able to hide behind his jab. Almeida's going to
Right.
be able to do the same thing to him. He has very long arms. It's 80-inch to a 79-inch reach from them two. So I know Volkov's going to be punching down a little bit because he's a little taller, but I think people are going to be surprised how big Almeida looks in there next to him. Um, I do think he's going to be able to get to the ground. He's not going to be scared to shoot on Volkov. Volkov sticks behind his jab a lot, and he does move pretty well. He has pretty good movement for a heavyweight. He's not quick though. He's very it's slow, you know what I mean? And it's expected for someone who's like 6'7" or 6'9", however tall he is. I think Almeida's going to be able to take his shots, and if it is against the cage, I think for sure he's going to be able to get him to the ground if he has the cage to his advantage. And once he gets him to the ground, it's not over. I think once he gets him to his back, once he gets Volkov to his back, this fight ends completely. Almeida's just going to completely sink him into the deep waters and get the sub in this one. I think he'll be able to finish it. I don't think it'll be a repeat of the Blades situation where he gasses out and gets finished. I don't think that's going to happen again. I think that was a one time thing.
What about
Um,
the Derek Lewis fight? with
Listen, I think, like
Almeida.
I said, I think it was a one-time thing with Curtis Blades. I think that's over. That part of him is gone. And Blades is also a very, very, very good wrestler, very good counter wrestler. So I think we move on from that, and we will see Gelton Almeida at the top of the division soon.
We're gonna see. Nah, yo, it's a great breakdown as always. You can have the feature bout of the afternoon, I should say.
All right, all right. So this one we got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista. Super excited for this one.
Great fight, yeah, great
And
fight.
this one, I'm definitely, if you know me, you know I'm definitely taking Umar to win this one by a decision. I think Mario Bautista is really good. This one was a hard bet. I don't like the odds being so wide, but I don't know. There's no justifying it. But I do think Umar is the better fighter here. Um, Definitely goes to a decision. If anyone was to bet on this one and it was to do anything, I wouldn't bet a fighter. I would just bet on this fight going to a decision. You have to respect the skills of Mario. He's probably one of the most well-rounded fighters on in the UFC, dude. He really just does it all. He's good. He has very good striking, very good wrestling, very good cage work, movement, everything, defense. He doesn't get rocked. He doesn't get hit a lot. Um, but dude, at the same time, Umar's just a different beast, and you have to respect that too. I mean, his kicks are insane. He was outstriking Marab till he got hurt. I thought he was gonna win that fight until he got hurt. I thought he arguably could have won that fight, but I think Marab's showboating did more for more for the scorecards than it did. But that's a different topic. Um, I just think a healthy version of Umar is the best fighter, or second. You want to say it's second best fighter in bantamweight because he has to prove he's the best. Um, I think in this fight he is going to be able to crack through Mario. We're going to see something we were not expecting to see, and I think he's going to break Mario's will later in the fight. Um, and that's a big challenge because Mario Bautista is very very good. Um, but I think Umar's that much better, so I have Umar winning this one by a decision.
Mm. Nah, for sure. My bad. It's a crazy game between the Hawks and the Magic right
Yeah, I
now.
was
That's
looking.
all.
I was been watching the scoreboards.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man. I agree. I think Martin Magomedov is the second best bantamweight on the planet right now. I think he will be the champion eventually. Now that I finally get a chance to talk about it, not being biased or nothing like that, I think it's kind of I just don't like how people try to gloss over the fact that he broke his hand in that Marab fight.
Yep.
Only people that haven't fought before try to gloss over that, like the pain of punching somebody with a broken hand, the pain of trying to grapple with a broken hand. I can only imagine having like some people would break their hand and just immediately start seizing up, like not want to do anything else. Like he went 5 more rounds and he barely lost that fight broken hand. So I do think that like it does 1,000,000% make a difference. I think it's a lazy approach to try to gloss over that. And again, it's only because people who have never fought think that doesn't make a difference. And I've never fought, and I'm 100% thinks that makes a difference. Um, I think it was a close fight even in the Marab stuff, and I think they're gonna fight again. But going into this one, I think a fully healthy Umar is the second best bantamweight on the planet. Gonna give the respect to Marab. He does look great right now. Absolutely. Damn near the number one pound for pound fighter. Is certainly the fighter of the year for 2025, most definitely. And yeah, man, I think for Umar, excuse me, this is really just about getting his title shot. You heard what Dana said at the press conference. If you go out there and show me that one of these guys should be fighting for the title next, and if Umar gets his hand raised in front of a roaring Abu Dhabi crowd, there's no doubt that he's gonna get the title shot. He has that last name. He's actually a part of the bloodline. And he fights like it too, lives up to that, looks just like his cousin, in my opinion, even kind of talks like him. And I look forward to it, man. Like I really want this dude to get the belt. I want it because he's not undefeated no more. So I mean, it's what it is. He got it out the way. But look who he lost to. And again, he broke his hand in that fight. So we're gonna see what happens. But either way, I do think that Umar's gonna win the fight via decision, and not decision really. I mean, because if it was 5 rounds, I think he could sub him then, but I think he could still sub him in a 3 round fight. I think it's gonna be a second round submission for Umar. I think he's gonna really prove his level. It's a 17-2 Mario Bautista. And going to the co-main event, first championship fight of two. Yeah, got to give a shout out to the ladies. This is a rematch. Kind of broke it down at the beginning of the card, so don't got to talk too much about it. It's a close fight, man. Like I think it's a fun one. Like McKenzie's a betting favorite on paper, but Verna has certainly looked great. I think McKenzie's lost some fights because she's fought better competition in the meantime since their first meeting. But some people like Verna more. I thought Durham looked better in that first fight. I think the ground game is still her bread and butter. The biggest thing going into this fight for me is that she's working with Jason Perillo. I think that alone, her boxing has gotten so much better. She's shown it in her previous fights, and now heading into the title fight, I think she is so focused. We know how good her ground game is. She looks in amazing shape on Embedded. For those who are actually looking at her, like her back, her arms, like Mackenzie's shoulders are fucking ridiculous. Like she hits the gym every fucking day to look like that with her back. That is crazy. Her back is insane. And yeah, man, I think she'll be I think she'll have the physical strength advantage in this fight. She did in the first meeting. She did get her to the ground. She was able to in the instances where they did grapple. And I think Mackenzie Dern's only gotten better. She's 32 years old in the prime of her career, while Verna's getting a little bit up there at almost 40 in the strawweight division. I think it's Mackenzie's time. Like Rose is gone, Whaley is gone. Even if Whaley loses to Valentina Shevchenko, I think she might retire because like there's not really much left for Whaley in that division. And I think like they would want to keep Zhang away from Dern because they definitely want Kinsey to have the belt. So we're gonna see what happens. But and not saying McKenzie couldn't win those fights, not saying she couldn't, but I just think they want the highest possibility chance of her being the champion. And because they know it's good for business, it's great for the UFC, it'll make her a Hall of Famer, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully she wins. I want her to win. I really do. Even as a fan, not even a journalist, I want her to win. I want to see her finally fulfill the prophecy. People have been loving Dern since he's gotten here, for her style and her personality. So it'd be really cool to see her finally be the champion and not just be a fighter who was really popular. So yeah, man, I got Mackenzie Dern by a second round submission over Verna Jandiroba. I think she's gonna hit a new championship level on this title run and in this title reign.
I hate to poop the party, but I got Verna Jandiroba winning this one by decision. I've been more impressed with her development over Dern's, in my opinion. That win over Yan Jiaonan is super impressive and aged so well after seeing how she fought against Wei Li. I really thought Yan Jiaonan was going to be the champion that night on UFC 300. Yeah, bro, she's just showing how good she is on the feet and on the ground. Dern, she does have some power in her hand. She has interesting striking. And then her biggest feat is her guard game. That's where she's the most dangerous. And I think that's the most dangerous spot she'll be in this fight. But I think Verna will be prepared for that. I don't think she's gonna play into the guard. I think she's just gonna try and get those knees down and get past it. Really just negate it. She knows what Mackenzie's looking for in this fight. Mackenzie, when she's on the back, she's accepting, and Verna's going to be very, very annoying. On top of that, I think she's going to be trying to stuff those knees, not let any arm bars fly up, because that's all Dern's going to be looking for. It's going to be a lot of arm bars off her back. But it's not saying that it's not going to happen. I think it's very possible Dern can get
I was in this because if anyone can do it, it's
yeah,
certainly
yeah, she
her. She's
definitely
not
can.
wasting her time down there,
She definitely can, but I do know how annoying Verna is as a fighter, and she's looked really good. I've watched all her fights, and I've picked against her most times, but she's like very pesky. She's very annoying to fight against. She does all those things that make it very annoying for the other fighters. Um, and I just don't think Vern's gonna be a walkover on the ground. I think people are thinking like, oh, Dern's the black belt. Oh, Dern's this. Verna's good on the ground, dude. She's shown it. She's good. She's good on top. Um, I think that's where she will be. I don't think Verna's going to end up on her back. Um, Dern is also sloppy on the feet, dude. I don't like it. I don't like how she strikes. I think Verna's going to be able to capitalize on that. She just overswings so widely, and I think it's going to end up in a clinch or a trip or something, or whatever it is. I just think Verna's going to be capitalizing off those mistakes. Um, I do think Dern is good. I don't think she's title ready, and I think Verna is closer to being title ready. So I'm not agreeing with the odds on this one that Mackenzie is the favorite. I think this is going to be an upset in the building that night. Um, I just think there's more holes in Mackenzie's game than there are in Verna's game. So I'm going to take Verna to win this one by decision.
Yeah, nah, for sure. It's gonna be a close fight. I do think Mackenzie's gotten better on the feet in her recent fights, though. Like the Angela Hill one, the way she and that was the best striker. On paper, she fought in that fight, and I definitely think the Jason Perilla at Ruka, and she's been there like 3-4 years now. I definitely think she's gotten better for sure. It's not like she when she used to just put her head down and throw the overhands, and even then she has fucking power. I do think Dern hits pretty fucking hard too. So I think it's gonna be a pretty close fight. I do think she's the more well-rounded fighter, in my opinion. I think she's the one that can get her to the ground. If it hits the ground, she can scramble with her. I think she has more submission victories. She has the most in strawweight history. It's gonna be a close fight for sure. I think it might come down to the 5th round. I think it might be 2-2. We might get a really fun title fight, So we'll see what happens, man. But going into the main event of the Ultimate Fighting Championship 321, I got Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. Yeah, man. I don't want to hot, so I guess I can just give my breakdown of the whole thing. You can just say whatever you like after, and that's it, But yeah, Tom Aspinall's finally back. He hasn't fought in a very, very, very long time. It's unfortunate. He was waiting for John Jones. That fight never happened. It never materialized. I do think that fight didn't happen because John didn't get the money that he wanted. I don't think he was scared of Aspinall in the slightest. I don't think he was scared of him in the slightest. My bad. I was watching this game. The Hawks won. Fuck.
Oh God.
But yeah. Yeah. Let's go. But yeah, so I do think that Tom Aspinall, again, he's a great fighter, has all the potential in the world. I said that when he first got here. He's finishing all these dudes in the first round. Obviously, he has the shortest average fight time in UFC history. 2 minutes or something like that. I do think that has something to do with the competition he's been facing. The best one he had was the Sergey Pavlovich. He did knock him out in the first round at exactly who he was supposed to. And he took that on short notice too. So I think they both took that on short notice.
That was short notice because Sergey was the backup for Stipe and John.
Yeah, so that means Sergey was the one. That's what it was. I was thinking so Sergey had a full camp. Tom hopped off the couch and knocked that motherfucker out in the first round. So he most definitely has insane power. He is extremely talented on the feet. On the ground too, we know that. And yeah, we haven't been able to see his ground game much. He did submit Armduralowski and Volkov. So we've seen them get subs. Both, I think one was a Kimura, the other was a Reniki choke. So he does have versatility. I haven't seen him off his back or anything like that, throwing up, triangles and stuff. Probably could if he needed to, but we'll see what happens in this fight, But going into Cyril Gane, he's a great striker, phenomenal striker, one of the best in the heavyweight division inside the UFC, really. I think his footwork is truly unique. I think I like his footwork more than I do like Aspinall's. I just like Cyril's lateral movement more, how it's in and out. He's really light on his feet, doesn't plot in the slightest. Tom is really light too, how he'll glide to his opponent like that. It's like an anime. But he is, it's like they're both super unique. I'm not gonna lie, they're both super unique. It's like red and blue, and I think for Gane, I think that he's the better technical striker in this fight, while Aspinall has more power. If they go blow for blow in the pocket, I do think Gane does hit hard. He is still a heavyweight at the end of the day, but I think Aspinall's gonna hit harder. I think Gane is more athletic in this one. It really just all comes down to the wrestling, man. It all comes down to the wrestling, man. Can Cyril grapple with him? Can he? And when I say grapple, can he get taken down, not get submitted? Can he fight out of that, get back on top, use his frame to get an underhook and grapple, negate the takedown, get Tom up against the cage, like really just gain the respect in the grappling. If he can really gain the respect in the grappling, it's not taken down, put on his back, even controlled at that point, even controlled, like how Ngannou did after he went for the heel hook and stuff like that. I think that this is gonna be a really, 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 really interesting fight. And yeah, man, like I just think it's a really close fight. Like I said, I think Gane's the better technical striker. Tom has more power. Um, they both have pros and cons about them. So people think Tom has no holes in this game. We're gonna see what happens if this goes out of the first round. I think Gane is a terrible style to go out of the first round against. Gane himself is very durable. People want to talk about how he got dropped by Tai Tuivasa. I think that was him just losing focus. And like Tai does hit extremely hard. And what happened? He didn't get knocked out though. Like he got dropped and got back up to his feet. And now it's it. He didn't even give Tai a chance to like land follow-up shots on the ground and he had to scramble. It wasn't any of that. He got right back up to his feet after losing focus for a second. So and we saw how that fight ended. He knocked out Tai, who's for having a good chin. So this is a close fight. I think it's a really close fight on paper. I think anyone like that whole Gane takedown shit is lazy. He lost to John Jones, who's literally the greatest martial artist to ever live. And the only reason that in Gane shit happened is because he went for a heel hook. And like Francis got he got two real takedowns in that fight. And like that was it. And that's because people were being lazy, thinking Ngannou had no skill. Ngannou was just a brawler. Like that was it. Like Francis didn't grapple with Stipe to knock him out at UFC 260. So it's like, people act like Ngannou had no grappling and like that just was what it was. But even in the last thing I will say, Gane was literally this close to winning that fight if he does not go for a heel hook. If he just stays on the feet and just throws punch, he wins that fight. Like he literally wins that fight. So and it changes the course of history in the UFC. So it's a close fight. It's really important for the division, UFC in general, in my opinion. But that was just a breakdown. Noah, how do you feel about the fight before we make our picks and stuff?
It's a very good fight. This fight's been in the making for a while, and I'm glad it's finally booked, and I'm glad it's finally here. It's one of those fights when you finally see them across the cage from each other. It's like, all right, let's fucking go, bro. Like it's go time. It's here. I think it's a really good fight. I think it's competitive, dude. Aspinall, he's super explosive, dude. He's really good. He has massive power in his hands, and we do know he has good BJJ, even though we don't see it much. The question on him is his cardio. We haven't seen him past that second round, and I think that's the biggest question: how it would look if it did go into those later rounds. Um, he's very skilled, and if I had to pick one flaw for Tom Aspinall, besides a random hypothetical, how he would look past that, it's that he does expose his chin a lot when he goes in to leap in for his strikes. He's very explosive when he leaps in, but the one thing about that is he's always been able to capitalize off that. He's always been able to finish his opponent when he does leap in like that. So you can't knock him for something that works. Same thing. Remember, Connor knocked out Aldo. He got caught on the way in, but he put out Aldo. So if it's a strategy that works, it works. You can't knock it. Gane on the other hand, dude, Gane is good. I don't care what nobody says. I talked to dudes at the gym all week. They're like, "Oh, he got knocked down by Tai Tuivasa." Man, that was Tai Tuivasa's prime, bro. You can't knock Gane for getting knocked down in a fight that he won by a finish from a dude in his prime, bro. Dude,
It's
he is
like, and
really
even then, yo, before you finish, it's like when people say shit like that. It's like, so what? Vitor Belfort caught John Jones in the fucking armbar. Like,
yeah.
so
He
it's like,
fucked his
so
arm up
what?
too.
Like, it's a
He had
fucking
him in a
fight,
cast
bro. It's a
after that,
fight,
bro.
bro.
He
Like,
he
I
popped his
hate
arm a
that
little
shit,
bit on that
bro.
armbar too, so he even got John a little bit.
For
Um,
real, bro. I hate that shit, bro.
Dude, Ganja's super clean. He's good movement, really good striking, dude. Uh, he has those kicks. I love watching him kick. Love watching his jab. Those are his two things: his kick and his jab. His body kicks and his jab. Those are really impressive. I think he could land some pretty nice strikes on Tom. I don't think Tom's some Iron Turtle deep, going off the nickname of Park. I don't think he has some Iron Turtle defense, dude. Like he does get hit a lot. So I think if this fight doesn't end in a second, I think Gane's gonna have some strikes that get some oohs out of the crowd. You know, there's something that could snap Tom's head back and be like, "Oh, okay, this is gonna be a fight. This might go past the second round." Um, I think it really could. Gane obviously doesn't have the same grappling advantage as Tom, but he has claimed that he's been grappling since the John fight nonstop. If he's even able to partially stuff, if he's able to not just end up on his back, just a dead man, or he's just not taking ground and pound instantly as soon as he gets taken down, I do like his chances. I think a Tom sub is very likely here. If I had to bet Tom, it would probably be by a sub, not by a knockout. But I'm gonna give Cyril the benefit of the doubt that he isn't just gonna get ragdolled. That's not giving my pick yet, but
Not
I
at all.
don't think he's just going to get ragdolled by him on the feet. And I think when it hits the ground, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that his grappling is good enough to get back to his feet. He's a very in shape, very good athlete. Um, it's a very hard fight to read though, because Tom is the easy choice, dude. So I think it depends on if Tom could not go out from what Tom throws. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. This fight starts on the feet. What Tom throws, as long as Cyril doesn't go out cold, I think we have a fight on our hands. So then we could get into our picks. You want to go first?
Sure, man. Like I said, it's a close one. You feel me? I just think people that don't watch UFC, they weren't watching UFC like prior to 270 or anything like that, just be lazy with it, and they see he lost to John Jones at 285, and like he literally hasn't lost since then. He hasn't fucking lost since then. Cyril gone. So it's like, man, I just see people just try to act like he's so ass. And even then with Sergey Spivak fight, if it was wrestling was that bad, he'd even get taken down once in that fight. He stuffed that shit easy as hell. Aspinall's way more athletic than Sergey Spivak, but I do think that Cyril has drilled the wrestling so much at this fucking point. It all comes down to his sprawl. It's just the sprawl. Like I don't know. It's not like it's not like he's fighting a Dagestani and it's a chain wrestling he has to worry about. It's just the sprawl. You feel me? Like it's gonna be like a good 3-4 takedowns. He's gonna have to get ready for. You feel me? Because at one point Tom will get tired. You feel me? And I do think that, like I said, Gane is a terrible style to get tired against. I think he'll go into this fight cool and collected. He's had these big moments. He fought John Jones. He did all that shit, man. I think he's gonna go into this fight cool and collected and cerebral, and just really be anticipating that pivotal moment in that fight. But if it's on the feet, I think he's not going to show this dude no fear in the slightest. And that's going to be the biggest thing about the fight. Him not showing Tom any fear on the feet whatsoever. I do think the takedown is going to come super early, like 30 seconds in, like a minute in. I think he's going to catch him off guard by being so blatant with the but I do think he's going to try to get him to the ground. And we're gonna know what's gonna happen right then and there, man. Everyone swore Glover Teixeira was gonna get Jamal Hill to the. Everyone swore he was gonna get him to the ground, bro. You feel me? Because we had never seen Jamal really have to dig that deep before. And I think obviously we've seen Gane lose in the wrestling, but the Ngannou shit was off his own basketball IQ, his own fight IQ, and that's John fucking Jones, man. You just had fans who didn't see him fight for 3 years, who just like thinking he didn't just lose literally the greatest of all time. It's like, come on, bro. So, like for real. So, I got Cyril Gane by decision. I think he's gonna stuff that takedown. I do. I think he'll stuff that takedown in the first round. Everyone's gonna be waiting for it in the first round. If he gets taken down, like he's gonna have to scramble. Just all depends, man. It took Tom Aspinall 2 rounds to finish Andre Arlovsky up against the cage with that takedown. I'm betting that Cyril Gane has really trained this wrestling with Ferdinand Lopez. You feel me? Ferdinand Lopez was people keep shitting on Ferdinand Lopez. Most of Ngannou's fights were with Lopez going back and forth between Paris. So it's like I do think that they just had a falling out. He didn't fuck with him anymore. We see Eric Nix is struggling right now, and I think this, styles make fights. You feel me? So I think going into this one, man, I think Cyril Gane is criminally underrated. He's one of the best heavyweights on the planet. Tom Aspinall is amazing. Like I said, he has more power. If they exchange on the feet, Tom is the one who has to land one time for him to drop Cyril. And then he drops him and then he hops on him, like a club and sub, knock him to the ground, try to get a submission while he's dazed. You feel me? I just don't think it's gonna be really hard. I think this guy is super athletic. He's gonna be super hard to get a hold of. He's gonna be super light on his feet. And I think it's gonna be hard to get to the ground. I think he's gonna be really strong, yo. I think Gane's gonna be really, really, really fucking strong, bruh. I think he froze up versus John, man. And man, he showed Francis no fear on the feet. Fucking Ngannou was throwing body kicks in the first round. He seemed to be striking with. He didn't even get knocked out by Francis. So it's like, yeah, man, for real, bro. I really do think that it's gonna be a pretty competitive fight. I think Gane can win the fight, and I think he's gonna stuff the takedowns and take him into deep waters, yo. I don't know if Tom's gonna get finished. I think he's super durable. So I think Gane's just gonna gain the respect. Yeah, I think he will really. It might be like a full circle moment. You never know. But obviously, this isn't a fairy tale. But I do think Gane's more athletic. He is the better technical striker. So if he can stuff these takedowns, he can win this fight, in my opinion. So I got Gane a decision at UFC 321 to become the new heavyweight champion, and they would love for this guy to be champion. He was just in the UFC Paris. He gets a big pop every time. He is still extremely popular and could headline in Paris all the time if they needed that.
I gave my breakdown, so I'm gonna give my pick, man. You picked Gane. I'm right with you. I'll pick Gane right with you. I wasn't sure where I was. I'll go Gane with you when it's time for decision, man. I've seen a lot of revisionist history on Twitter, bro. I mean, people talking about Aspinall's this, Ngannou's this, man. Don't do that because we know damn well everyone there knew exactly what Ngannou was when he was around. So don't try and switch it now that you got a new puppy to play with, bro. Ngannou couldn't put Cyril Gane out. It's gonna be very hard for Tom to do it, bro.
Out, man. I'm not even fucking shit, bro.
You're right. He froze up against John. It's a different fight. Styles makes fight. John fought very, very slow in that fight. It wasn't what Cyril was expecting. Tom's very quick. It is right on Cyril's pace. I think it's gonna be a good fight. All we could do is sit, wait, and watch, and that's it. I got new UFC 321 heavyweight champion.
Yeah, man, I think it's gonna be close, man. But it's gonna be a fun fight though, and I think people are gonna leave that fight going, "Holy shit!" And I think that's what's gonna make the card if Cyril Gane wins the belt. And like I said, it's not like it'll fuck up the heavyweight division because this dude is still super young and he is still super popular. All those UFC Parises in September just make it into a pay-per-view, just like that. He's still extremely popular in Paris, Cyril Gane. So we're gonna see what happens, man. But to me, it's gonna be a fun fight. I really think so. I think Cyril likes that he's being doubted. It's just no pressure. He can just go in and perform. They got him losing anyway, so he can just go in and perform and just do his best. And I think his best, he's the best heavyweight on the fucking planet. It's like a people thought back then. I still think that now. So we'll see what happens, man. But hopefully he can get it done, man. Aspinall's a great martial artist. He's a great fighter. Like I said, he has more power. He has a better ground. There's no doubting that. Cyril has been seen getting heel hooks and things of that nature. But I do think if they go grapple for grapple, I think Tom's gonna, I think he's the better black belt. But I think Cyril stuffs them takedowns, and I think he's gonna pick him apart, especially when he gasses out. So this ain't no regular heavyweight. This man fighting, So we're gonna see what's happening. They're both super special. I don't think it's the first time they fight, and we're gonna see what happens, man. It's gonna be a good fight. It's perfect for the new generation of heavyweight, most definitely. And yeah, man, that's it for me. I'm all talked out. Most definitely. You know, I worked this morning. I'm pretty tired. Catch us again at UFC 322. Definitely gonna break that down. I think there's a card in between that time. I think it's Brandon Royval versus Manel Cop. I think they might be after this one. I gotta
I think
check.
Steve Garcia and Onami.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
Onama.
Yeah, David Onama versus Steve Garcia. Right. Featherweight fight. It's a pretty random main event, but I guess this shows you because they know like they don't want to do the Apex anymore because they're on the road all the time now, damn near. So they know that anytime it's a big main event, they don't even want to do the Apex anymore. It'll be like, two lower seeded ranked guys who can put on a fun fight for the Apex. That's an Apex main event, an Apex card as it should be. But they're getting back on the road. And I think for the Paramount deal, they're gonna do that a lot, man. I think it's gonna be like how it was in 2017, 2018. They were on the road every single fight night. Like that was the standard. It wasn't like it was anything else. They were it's a new state every time, and that's it. So we're gonna see what happens. But thank y'all for joining us, most definitely. And y'all enjoy the fights. Wake up tomorrow morning, crack a beer. It's all right to day drink. It's a special occasion. And y'all have a nice one, man. Skinny, Nikki, good luck in your competitions tomorrow, most definitely.
Hell yeah, bro. Let's get this money.
In the W's. Y'all have a nice night, man. God bless y'all. Most definitely.